been suggested that I make a Who the Heck Are You video. Life and who I am and what I believe in, and hopefully the videos are giving you an idea of the types of crafts that I do. I am 69 years old. I'm still working. I do elder care in Northwest Arkansas, which I absolutely love. My parents are both gone, but even though I lived in the area, I did not get much of an opportunity to do for them because they were so intent on not being a bother. They didn't allow me to do a whole lot. So when opportunity to take care of one of my friend's parents in an area that was kind of out of the way, took a while to get to. Nobody wanted to drive out that far to visit with her. So I took the training to become a care assistant and started visiting her. And I have been doing that for 8.5 years probably. I worked for the company that they started out with for about 2 years. And then I got a job with a company called Seniors Helping Seniors, which I love the concept. We are all seniors. And we don't do the heavy stuff. We don't do the lifting and the transferring and the, all the stuff they do in, I just lost a piece. There it is. All the stuff they do in nursing homes. But what we do is we go into the nursing homes, or we go into their homes and visit with them and make them a meal, or do some light housekeeping, that type of thing. Mostly, my strong point is companionship. My best friend says, "Oh, you love your little old ladies," and I do. You can't help but get attached. I actually enjoy being around older people because they have led a full life and they got great stories. I met one woman whose husband was on the Indianapolis, which was the ship that was sunk during World War II, and they were attacked by sharks. They made a movie about it. You might or might not know about it, but it was a big deal. Like I don't know, they went in the water with 1,000 people and 300 survived, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the specifics, but it was a horrendous experience. Evidently, they were in the water for quite a while before they were rescued. And I met a gentleman who was a sound engineer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he did recordings for a lot of rockabilly stars, a lot of the old early religious choirs and gospel music people, and still had all the recordings. And he could tell some stories. Just all kinds of things. I am interested in their stories, but it's also a way to get them engaged. As far as crafting, I have been crafting all of my life. My grandmother was a teacher. Matter of fact, she was a teacher when the Wright brothers flew their plane. And she was, having been a teacher, she was very intent on that her grandkids were all going to learn a craft. She had musical instruments. She painted, she knitted, she taught me a lot of of the things that I started out with crafting. started me with embroidery when I was probably 10. And she was real big into crewel, so I did crewel kits. I learned needlepoint when I was 16, I think, and didn't like it. Like it a lot better now, but they've changed how they do it. It's not nearly as rigid and regimented as it used to be. I have a high boredom threshold, starting at this end and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth was not for me. Probably being a starving student while I was in college formed my crafting style. I was raised by Depression era parents, obviously, and I lived on about $400 a month when I was in college. So, I was just happy if I had thread to stitch with. I didn't care if it was DMC or Coats or some knockoff brand. We used to go to Walmart and buy clearance kits and then take them apart and use them for supplies. I just used what I had. And if I didn't have the right thing, or if I wanted a different color, I just changed it. Don't care for painting, but I have painted. I've done any kind of stitching you can think of. Tried to learn knitting, but knitting didn't compute. Let's just say I've done just about everything out there and leave it at that. Over the years, we have tried our hands at all kinds of things. I keep coming back to stitching. I've always been fascinated with handwork. I was lucky enough to be able to open my own shop in 2000 and just loved it. The specialty fibers were just exploding. Silk fibers and wool silk blends and just anything you could think. I would say that's probably what the shop specialized in. I carried a lot of European kit. Of course, being a woman and starting a business, and the business that I started, I was looked at as a hobbyist, not a business owner, which used to frustrate the out of me. Everybody thought, oh, she won't last a year. I lasted 16. I will admit that I would never have gotten rich off the shop, but it paid for itself. It paid for buying trips. It paid for, well, I could turn in just about anything. If we went to Tulsa, I was shopping for the shop. So cross stitch kind of died on me. I got to a very ridiculous, I think I had a whole month with maybe $100 in sales, something like that. And I decided, well, this is stupid. I'm just throwing money at something that's obviously on the wane. So I closed the shop down and I started making crocheted bags from recycled grocery bags. I'm what they call an organic crocheter. I don't follow a pattern. I just decide how big I want it and go to so they are all unique, and they have slowly morphed into fashion bags and more specialty things. I probably sell more fashion bags now to women that think of them as handbags. But there's still a market out there for big bags for swimming, for taking to the grocery store, for throwing in the back of the car pack small stuff in. And I've been doing that for, let's see, I closed the shop down in 2016, so for almost 9 years. And I'm about to get to where I can't go to outdoor shows anymore or multi day shows. I just don't have the physical stamina. So this year I cut back to one Sunday a month. Um, you know, I don't sell that much, but it's see my friends at the market and that kind of thing. So, and still do smaller 1 day venues. And if I'm doing an outdoor show, I don't commit to it unless I have some help setting up and tearing down. What I do on this channel, if you have been on it at any length of time, you know that right now I am focusing on the bags, different techniques that I use for the plarn bags or the yarn bags. Um, I've done a few general craft things during the winter. I sell homemade ornaments, handmade ornaments. A lot of them I kind of got obsessed with using old cards and reworking them into new ornaments or one-sided, kind of like postcards, flat cards. I occasionally get vintage cards, and I get really excited when I see those, even if it's a kind of a funky design. It's so unusual. It's just really appeals to my sense of saving. I mean, we've been known to apologize to I'm sorry, we just can't find any reason to keep a hold of you. We can't use you. But we try to save as many as we can. Almost everything I do is recycled, upcycled, reworked in some form. I use thrifted yarns. I use old cards. I use pizza box lids for the bases of my ornaments. Whatever I can find. Partly because I'm a cheapskate. That's still hanging on, using what I've got, reusing what I've got, making something new. It feeds my soul to give things a new life. I would be at the thrift store and see something that some little old lady did in the 1960s, and their family got rid of it, and it's sitting on the shelf for 50 cents. Oh, I just can't stand it. I got to take it home because it deserves a home. So anyway, that's kind of philosophy and what I work from. And I just enjoy the challenge of creating something out of that's beautiful out of what other people would consider trash. So that's my crafting style. There is nothing new in crafts. Everything has been done before. And they come around you know, embroidery was big in the late 60s. It's back. Cross stitch was king for 20 or 30 years, and it's on the wane. I'm very happy doing my bags, but I hope that gives you a little bit about me. I was a military wife. I was a mom. I lost my child when he was almost 4, and I was in college, divorced and in college. Came out of college and never got a job in my profession. Could walk into Hobby Lobby and get a job or whatever, but I never got a job. And by that time, I was probably already thinking about wanting a shop. So I spent a lot of time preparing for that. It probably took me about 10 years to find out that I really didn't know anything. I had to learn it on the job, but I did a lot of fine tuning about what I wanted the shop to be like and that kind of thing, and took jobs where I would learn different skills for it. So I was prepared, but there were a lot of things that I didn't even think about that came up that I sold in February. I finally decided after people telling me for years and years and years to that I should have a YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel, and down the line when I cannot work any longer, I am hoping that I will have built it up to the point where I'll have at least a small passive income coming in, so I'm not living on just Social Security. But that's, we'll see. It's a long, slow haul. I think I am up to 23 subscribers, and 3 of those came this week. So, you know, small increases, and excited about every single one of them. One month or 1 week I'll get the most views I've ever had, or 1 week I get 2 or 3 new subscribers, and 1 week I get I'm halfway towards the goal that I need to of total views to qualify to get monetized. It's just, I'm kind of Pollyannish. I will take whatever I can get to give me encouragement. So, but I know it's going to be a long road, and it's been a steep learning curve. I'm not techie at all, and I get very frustrated. So, I have learned to edit out the things and that kind of thing. That's what I'm working on right now. But it was a chore just to get videos downloaded, that kind of thing. I was a Tupperware dealer at one point, so I don't really have any trouble talking, but or talking in front of a camera. But the technical issues of getting things to download and figuring out how to edit and keywords, and how to do a thumbnail, what you need to do on a thumbnail, and I hope I didn't bore you to death with this, and we will talk at you soon. I'm in the midst of vamping up for Christmas, so the next one will probably be Christmas oriented, and we'll see what comes out of my brain. Bye bye. Have a good evening.